Hey guys, you know, a couple of days ago, I ended up getting my first video capture device, the AGPTEK, HFTEX, AGPTEK or whatever it's called, the AGPTEK, and so far it's worked pretty good. The way I have it set up kind of helps out in the long run. And like I said, it captures all the footage you need very well. And I'm using my HDMI switcher, which I may have to replace in the future because this one's the button on it's kind of wearing out, and I don't know if that's an issue or that's been causing an issue. But yeah, like I said, overall the video capture device that I got is pretty damn good. Excuse my language, God. But anyway, the only issue I think anybody has with a device like that is the cord. You see, the HDMI cord that they gave me is a very short cord. It's probably, like I said in my video when I unboxed it and kind of did an overview of it, it's probably the shortest cord I've seen, HDMI wise or even USB wise. I mean, yeah, it does its job, but it's like, why even have that? Why even sell something like that? Or why even package an HDMI cord like that when you know there's going to be people that are going to want to connect their devices, or not connected devices, but are going to want to place it in an area that's not so crowded. You know, they're going to want to have a little bit of space. And I think that's the main problem when it comes to this video capture device, or any of them. I think it's the fact that the HDMI cord is too small, it's too short. And I'm not saying that they're the only ones that suffer from that. I actually had to use the Ruko's HDMI cord as a replacement because of the fact that this one was too short. And what happened yesterday, and I don't know if this is maybe because the HDMI switcher has to be replaced or something, but what happened yesterday was the fact that all of a sudden nothing was turning on. I mean everything was on, everything was working, but the screen would tell me no signal. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? Now I understand that it's got to go. Now I kind of have an idea that it's got to go through a lot of passageways, if you will. It's like it's got to basically the feed that it's getting from the TV's got to go to the output. The feed it's got to go to the output portion of the switcher, which is connected to the input portion of the video capture, and that input portion of the video captures to the output. You kind of get the idea. So I can understand that it takes a little bit to read the signal, kind of send a signal. But what gets me is, I shouldn't have this problem whether or not I have to replace the HDMI switch or I don't. I shouldn't have this kind of a problem because mainly they should have this figured out. They should have this figured out right from the start. You shouldn't have to worry about, is something up? Am I doing something wrong? You shouldn't have to worry about that. And hopefully anybody else that sells a video capture device, hopefully they've learned from that already, and some of the more expensive ones, maybe $10, $20 more, $30 more, have learned from that and said, you know what, we got to package a longer HDMI cable. For me, what I'm probably going to end up doing is, when I get paid this week, is I'm probably going to end up buying a longer HDMI cable for this capture device, as well as for the Ruko, because that way it makes it a little bit more spacious and a little bit. I'll have again an additional HDMI cables that are long, kind of in the way, but at least they would be worth getting because I don't have to worry about any kind of complications. And again, it is working now. It is working now, which I'm glad for. But I think like I said, the only negative that I believe I've had, and I'm sure anybody else has had, is the shortness of the HDMI cable. If you're going to sell a device like this, you need to make sure you package it with at least a 5-foot cable, a 5-foot HDMI cable. That's what I'm looking at. Not a 2-foot, not a 3-foot, but at most parts a 5-foot, maybe 6-foot HDMI cable, so that way it makes it a little bit more maneuverable. Because if you're just going to sell it with a what is it, 2 to 3 inch cable, what good is that going to do? Well, not inch cable, 2 to 3 foot inch cable. What good is that going to do? I mean, yeah, it'll do its job, but it'll make things complicated. You want something that's not complicated. You want something that's going to make things easier. So overall, that's my only negative on it. So far, though, the video capturing is great. As a lot of you saw with my preseason DCWA preseason Elimination Chamber CAW Women's Champions Only match, basically the benefit of this is now I get to have the entrance music for the characters. Yeah, I get to have the entrance music for the characters. And I know some people are saying, well, why don't you just dub out the entrance music and just put your own music? I could do that, but the thing is, like I said, I work. I'm sure a lot of people that have CAW leagues work as well, but I don't have the time sometimes to go through all that. And I'd rather just be like, let them use the entrance music that are there, and maybe it'll match up with them. The only thing that I know some people are worried about, and I've already noticed it, is copyright. And that's the one thing that's always got me with Sony. It's like, if you know you're going to get copyright, but it's not going to really hurt anybody's channel, why even block it? Why even block the music from being used? It doesn't make sense. Someone's going to find a way around it and use it. And that's why these video capture devices or things like them come into play. Heck, that's why when you think about it, that's why Sony, Sony even provides people the opportunity to download the video files onto USB drives, and who's to say those video files don't have the entrance music? So I don't know what the big deal is, honestly, when it comes to any of that. I really don't. It's baffling. So, but yeah, that's the one benefit, is you get everything in there. You get the music that depending on the console you're using, that gets blocked. You get the music that, like I said, depending on the console you use, that gets blocked out. You get that in there. So you get everything. You get it at 1080p, which is a benefit. The other thing I did notice, and it was obvious right from the start, is you get about 15.5 minutes of footage to record. So it does go beyond, so I will give it this, it does go beyond the 15-minute mark that a PlayStation 4 video recording allows you to do by at least 30 seconds. And that's good. Well, at least 30 to 40 seconds. Yeah, it's about 40 seconds. You get 40 seconds more of recording time. So you get basically 15 minutes and 40 seconds of recording time, which is, like I said, slightly above, what you would get with PlayStation. And hopefully with the PlayStation 5, that if they still allow it, to save video, basically record video, you'll be able to get more minutes beyond that. And again, that's the one thing I miss about live streaming. I used to be able to not have to worry about that. But anyway, yeah, you do get a little over 15.5 minutes of recording footage, and then, as advertised, it does still record, but then it breaks off at that 15 minute 40 second mark and starts a new file right then and there, so it makes it easier for you. Another thing that makes it easier for you is if you're using a software like Cyber Director 14 or 16 or whatever, and you want to render and you want to piece this together and you want to get it done quickly, because it's 1080p, because it's recorded at 10 or captured at 10, because it's captured at 1080p in 30 frames per second, it goes a lot quicker with the fast rendering, because all it's doing is upping the frames per second by 30. That's about it. So overall though, it is a good device. Is it the best? No, it's not, but it does its job, and I'm happy about that. I really am. Am I going to get other video capture cards, capture devices in the future? Absolutely, because I have, video game systems in the rec room there that I would like to capture onto video as well to showcase here on YouTube or my Twitch channel or Daily Motion. So, or even my Vimo channel, because yes, I do have a Vimo channel. But yeah, overall, I do recommend getting it. It may not be like all extravagant like what you're hoping for at the start, but at least it does its job. My only suggestion is to do what I'm going to do, or and that's get a longer HDMI cable. If you have one lying around the house, use it. Hopefully that works. Hopefully it works, but use it so that way you have a little bit more space. If not, go and buy one. Buy one that's at least an inch, a foot or so, or maybe a few inches longer than the one that comes with it, because you'll be glad you did. Overall though, it's a good device. I highly recommend you guys getting one, especially if you want to try to get you want to encompass all of, everything that your recording is. You don't want to leave, and along with the fact that you don't want to have anything left out, a capture card or capture device in this case is a great way to go, especially with this one. So that's really all I'm going to say. Again, the only negative is the USB cords. Not USB, but the HDMI cord is a little short. It does its job depending on how you have it positioned, and really that's all I can say, guys. So let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. I'd love to hear from you guys. And I'm out, but I highly recommend you do get one. It's affordable, but my suggestion, get an HDMI cable that's a little longer and can make things more workable for you. So that's all I'm going to say, guys. Let me know what you all think down below, and I'll talk to y'all later.